Hello, folks. Oh, I am. Hold on a second. Things be out of whack. My monitor is out of sorts. This is out of sorts. Whoop. Nope, gotta keep going. Oh yeah, there we go. I think we're kind of sorted back out. Welcome in, everybody. I am finally feeling like a human again. I'm still got some like nasal junk stuck here. I still can't hear it on my left ear, but I'm doing better. I'm doing a little bit better. So huge thanks to all these amazing folks from last stream for the raids and the subs and the resubs and the things. Raven, I just had like ass blowing levels of spicy Indian food for dinner, so I'm working on that. It was amazing. I had some bangin' bartha and some palak paneer and some bindi masala and some naan, and what else did I have? I don't know. And some samosa chat. So I had all the really good, tasty, spicy Indian food. So welcome in, everybody. I saw a few questions that I'll answer in a second here. Welcome Boyd, Lily, Drac, Dad, Knightley, Raven, Boyd, Moyle. Did I get everyone in there? I don't know. Jacob. Hope that little one's doing good. Thank you. The thumbnail was fun to put together. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. And yes, I'm drinking on a Monday because I didn't drink for the last like 2 or 3 weeks. So we are having Three Sheep's Barrel Aged Dark Matter Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout because life has been stressful, and every once in a while you need a beer. Make it a little less stressful. So thank you to my early crew over here. I gotta get used to point with the other hand. So that's thank you for early crew. Thank you for the other folks for the subs and stuff. I also just want to kind of open up and say a huge thanks. There's been a bunch of new Patreon folks coming in, so thank you all for making it in. One of the questions there was around the Echo Mini compound, and if I'm going to put together a video on wiring, I don't know. I might put together a short one if I have time this week. This week's a tough week, folks. So let's see. I'm going through my list for you. I checked off. We've talked about my health. I'm doing a little bit better. We've been in frantic mode. So the house is ready. We're getting pictures done tomorrow, and then later this week the house goes on the market. So I am we're just in total chaos mode getting ready, and emotional states are running high. You know, my kids are frustrated about moving. No one's happy in my house. Everyone's a ball of anxiety and stress, including myself. So to that end, I am not doing any content this week other than hanging out with y'all and streaming. I'm not going to try to do any more videos and editing and stuff like that. I just got to take something off of myself for a little bit. Did I craft a 4x4 for the move? Fully loaded up with all the storage mods on it for sure, Scalpod. We got to sell before we can move. So yeah, that's the quick skinny on everything going on. Yeah, be sure to throw a couple storage mods on it. Exactly. So that's the skinny for this week. I am hoping this Friday we will start. We're going to start a new series, and I have a great idea for it. And Kimmy, I'm staying in this area. We're just downsizing house. We're making a conscientious decision to significantly reduce our financial footprint so that we can remove the golden handcuffs we have to corporate America, so we can tell corporate America to go kindly F itself. and do what we want to do with our lives. So that is kind of the overall plan. Also, we've got one kid that's already out of the house. We got another kid that's about to go to college. So for all those reasons, we've got lots of reasons. We're just trying to simplify our life a little bit. So that's the plan. From a tier 5 down to a tier 3. Exactly. Exactly. So on Friday, I want to kick off a series where I want you all in chat to make the decisions on a lot of what we do. So on the YouTube video from tonight, and I know some folks from Twitch will have to jump over to YouTube later and put a comment in, but just add a comment onto the YouTube VOD from tonight on which tree you want me to go with for the first stream, which will be this Friday. So I will only be able to use one skill tree per stream. We'll forgetting elixir into whichever skill tree I get the most comments on, and that will be the tree that I use. And I won't be able to use any cross stuff. I'm just going to have to manage with that tree. I've got some other stuff I'm working in there, but tonight is kind of a setup for Friday. So what I wanted to do is, I am tired of building the same base over and over. Scalpod, no, generic does not count as a tree. One of the main sets. I think I'm still allowed to use the general tree. So we'll say the general tree is allowed, but I can't do like strength and int, for example. I can only do strength. If y'all choose strength, then it's just strength. If y'all choose perception, it's just perception. I can't use any skills from anything outside of that other than general. Okay. Tonight, I'm relying on you all. I need ideas. We're gonna prototype. I'm gonna pull up the editor. I came into this, and this feels a little scary to me, folks. I don't know if y'all know this, but I spend a long time actually prepping for streams. I try to make sure that I've got an idea of how I want it to play out. And so coming in totally blind with a blank slate, a little scary. I've got no drawings on my desk. I've got nothing planned for tonight. We're just going to dive in. So I'm going to pull up the editor, but I want to start with a discussion. I'm not making Giant Raven. It's already been done, Raven. I can't do it better. Why should I redo it? So Jason, just so you understand, my build will shift every stream. So through the playthrough, I will play lots of different builds. We'll start off every stream with me basically selecting my build. Other than the first stream, because we're just going to be starting. All right. Bring the music down just a skosh, and I'm going to switch us into game. And we're jumping straight on Drac, even if you give me that tree, which I'm not going to tell you now. We're not taking Animal Tracker. It's worthless. All right. So for anyone who hasn't seen the Prefab Editor, holy crap, thank you for the 20 months there, Red Knight. I appreciate you, buddy. For anyone who hasn't seen the Prefab Editor, that's how we're going to be working tonight. Animal trash. We'll be able to rapidly prototype and design a base, and then we'll run it through some testing. But let's hear some concepts on what type of bases that we can build. So the rule for tonight is no walkway bases, period. No crappy... Do I have the version? I thought I did a test version right here. Actually, this is probably fine. No, we're gonna scrap this. We're gonna do... Let's create a new prefab and give ourselves... We'll give it medium size. Hey, Rarity, welcome in. Floating Horde base. Okay. I don't typically do the Rarity cheese bases. I don't do well with. Also not a Let's see. We're going to call this Echo and no meta. No meta. That might be the name of the base. No meta. Drac, what do you mean by airport base? What does that mean? All right, and we're just gonna build everything out of concrete to start with. Base built on water. So I don't want to do a base built on water for one reason. Winding track up to a killing spot. Someone mentioned it and I was curious. Okay, so folks, when we talk about meta, here's what meta is. Meta is the fact that every base in 7 Days to Die right now looks like this. Every single one is the same format. It's this. Here is every 7 Days to Die base, including my own. I'm totally guilty of this. I'm not calling this out and saying that I am unaffected by this. I am part of the problem, and I want to stop being part of the problem. This space here. Jason, I don't... For this, we're not going to do renovations. Renovations are easy. That I might do as a whole separate stream. This, I want to come up with original ideas. Inverted pyramid. Tell me more. I feel seen. So my criteria, folks, I have to, when I make bases, I want to inverted pyramid with you at the bottom. You mean like going down into the ground, like the zombies come down into it? Raven, you're not helping. So this is what we're absolutely not going to do, is what you see there. All right, let's get some concrete shapes here. Well, it's time efficient. Yeah, I just want to figure out something else. I want to give people a different option. The problem is every time I think about the different options, it all feels done before. So how do we... And let me actually clear out my inventory here. BRB in game now. Hey, old as hell, welcome in. Make a non-base base which somehow still functions. Welcome in, old as hell. I usually find an interesting POI. So here's the thing. I'm not going to do existing POIs. Mountainside builds, though I love them, are very difficult because I can't really teach someone how to build those because your base ends up becoming very dependent upon your location. So as an example, God, what is it called? My underground base. Play around with a pyramid idea. Okay. There was the vault. So I love this base, but we can't use it. It's because this, you can't place this base anywhere. It's anytime you do something into a mountain, it you know, it's hard to make it placed. It just doesn't really work. Why am I stuck in this god-awful mode here? Oh, tilde. I hate that. Okay. Our ladder base is out. That, boy, it is the base from the commercial breaks. A diamond base, a fight position at the top and secondary position. All right, so let's go back to our, sorry, I meant to create, wait, did we save, we may not have saved that. Echo no meta. Start a curl because no one will ever do that. So part of the thing is when I'm building bases, I like to build something that people are going to have a chance to replicate. And I know that no one is going to build a mountain around their base. Submarine base. Like an actual underwater base. This is harder than I thought. I'm trying to take suggestions. So here, let me give some criteria that helps out everyone out. Base needs to be able to be standalone. Underwater is hugely problematic for so many reasons. Build a base that represents your logo. We've done something like that. Underwater's tricky because A, water physics and 7 Days to Die are still borked. 2, the moment you have Horde and you have a demo explode, it destroys the water and it's a mess. Yeah, my community built a bunch of Echo logo bases. Inverted pyramid, small. All right, well, let's, you know what? I realized we only made this one deep. We're gonna have to kill this. Hold on. I messed up when I made this. What are my must-haves? Well, I'm not doing a ton of must-haves. My must-haves are no POIs. Probably not in water because no one can... It doesn't have a lot of applicability for people to be able to build in different spots. No stairway to a plank. What about a crawler base? We could do some. I'll build my own lobster base with blackstrap and party girls. Nice. We can experiment with a crawler base. Okay, well, let's play with this whole pyramid thing. Lots of people bringing up the pyramid. So let's try some ideas around that. I need to actually delete the prefab that I made here because it's wrong. Actually, we're gonna make no meta 2. 60 meters, but what I wanted to do is actually make this like 20 deep. Echo no meta 2. I like the Pachinko? Oh, the Pachinko base where they climb up. Okay. It took me a second to like register what you're saying. Oh my gosh, Raven. Raven and the puns. Animal Trackers Revenge. Oh my god, you folks and your animal trackers! Yep, Echo Workbench is still available. All right, let's start by trying to like, pyramid-wise, do we want to do it as a wedge 60 up and down? I wish we could reverse flip stuff. That would be amazing. So let's grab this and... I love the idea of fighting your way around the outside of a colossus like a gigantic statue. So one of the criteria is also making it so that people can build this thing. All right, so if... Oh, I hate when we actually see ground level, so let's do that. All right, and how big... And if we do an inverted pyramid and we fight at the bottom, how is that going to work? I'm very curious on this now that I'm thinking through this. And how big? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, this is immediately going to be very costly to make, right? The amount of resources to create a pyramid and an inverted pyramid is probably going to put it outside the realm of what most people would build. Yeah, we're not doing a giant raven base. It's been done. Yeah, nightly, that's what I'm doing. All right, so that's 12, 12, and 12. Hey, wizard. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making an inverted thingamabob, and we're gonna figure out where we go from there. Come on, split that. There we go. Split, split, and we want the innards of a 60. So this and 60, but the inside. All right, let's. I'm just ignoring all comments on ravens. Any raven comments are getting ignored. Oh, that is not what I meant to do, but it looks kind of cool. I am ignoring him. And for this, we need the 60 inside corner. And now we just come down to the next level and we go Z. That's the wrong block. There we go. Get rid of you. That doesn't go there. Can I explain the keys that I'm using? Absolutely. You know what? Do I have... I had a key overlay at one point in time. I don't know if it'll work, because I haven't used it in a while. I'll just kind of explain it a few times as I'm going through. So when you're in the Prefab Editor, Z will create a blue box. Pressing Z as second place will make another blue box. I can fill that box. I can also delete within that. So we're going to delete this next layer down. If I'm pointing at a block, I can hold shift and it's going to push into the block. So I'm going to press shift and Z and place one corner of the bounding box there. Shift and Z on the other side. Now I'm going to press J and it will delete everything that I see there. Now to bring this down another level, we're going to do a wedge 60 tip. I'm going to press Z and Z and sorry, oops, did that wrong. Z and Z here, and then I'm going to press L, and it will paste whichever block I have highlighted in the direction that I currently have it in. So I'm just going to loop this around and go Z, Z, create the bounding box, press L, and it will fill that in the whole way across. Then I'm just kind of going around the sides with the pieces. Are they pre-programmed keys? Yes, this is standard for the Prefab Editor. I don't know if you can change that, actually. I don't think that's changeable. But this is how I build pretty fast. Now, this is also a weird... this is a pretty difficult build to build fast because we don't have a lot of duplication. Oh, they are in the key binding session, so there you go. And then when we get down to this, it doesn't even make sense. I don't know why that got the block there, but... Yeah, and if folks have questions as I'm going along, just stop me. So we're just starting with the inverted pyramid, like people said, and then we're going to start to think through how does this become a base? How does this even make sense? Vixen, it does have that underground base feel. I don't want to do a big underground base, though. First off, they don't work. I'm just spitballing in my head here. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm literally just slapping stuff together and seeing how I feel about life. Velvet, you don't want to ever dig down. Oh, and we've got ads. I'm going to hang out for ads, though, for this one. So digging down never works, anybody. The problem is that zombies dig in so many weird ways. They just mess everything up. It's just not viable. We already did the huge underground base, and it was a mess. Underground base is never less resources. Lily, you're saying you think that your base might work? Or you're saying, so the drop bases, the bedrocks are just, it's just a mess. Yeah, ever since the zombie digging change back in Alpha 21, it's been a mess. Never dig straight down. Honestly, garage door magic carpet is great. What do you mean garage door magic carpet? I'm not sure that I'm following that one. Yeah, Peter, I mean, I spent a ton of time and effort. And my last bedrock base worked okay. Jason, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm building the structure, and then we're going to figure out garage doors float above the ground. Oh, unconnected to anything. Yeah, no, I don't. I want to kind of stay away from cheese. Anything like floating style is not going to be... Yeah, I don't want to do anything like that. I want to think through stuff that people can build. Stinky cheese. Hey, I am Hugh. The daily subs, that's a Twitch side of the house thing. One day I'll figure out, I guess I could have daily member goals, because it's members on YouTube and it's subs on Twitch. Oh, is everybody back? Everyone's back, right? I'm sitting here just chatting with y'all, and yes, we are out of commercials. Okay. We're going to start with just building the thing, and then we're going to figure it out after the fact, because sometimes that's how this all works. All right, so we'll build two sides. Do I have a regular cube in here? I don't know why I have any of these left. Let's go regular cube. So this is going to start to feel a little bit reminiscent of one of my other... Oh, back, thank you. So we're going to go, you know, zombies have mixed opinions with running diagonally, but we're going to try it. So this pathway concept I've done before in the past. I think you've gotten plenty of input. I will say, it's tough taking input, folks. You know, I want to make it a communal effort, but sometimes it's like, well, I'm also trying to think of, like, how would people... Are we drinking wine? I am drinking a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout from Three Sheep's Barrel Society. So no, I appreciate wine, Watch Mooney, but I know little to nothing about wine. I am epically ignorant on wine. 1, 2, 3. So me, I only drink wine when people who know more about it than me feed it to me, because otherwise I'm like I don't know what to drink. Watch, you must be way behind. Okay, yeah, I was about to say, you got to be way behind if you're still looking for the scene change. I forget sometimes how bad YouTube can lag behind. All right, we're about to show you the power of working in the Prefab Editor here. So again, I'm just conceptually tossing this shit together. We'll figure out how we turn this into a base in a second. We're just kind of playing with interesting and different patterns. So here's the thing. Once you've done something like this and you're like, oh, well, the other side's just going to be the exact same thing. Here's where the true magic of this comes in. So I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to do a Shift Z here and copy this whole section, right? So Control C is going to make a copy of everything there. I'm going to press G and slide this out. I'm going to press Control V and repaste this. Now I'm going to hit X twice. X is rotate. Oh, there we go. Now that I've done that, I'm going to copy it. Control C. I'm going to press J to delete it. I'm going to hold down G, which is going to bring up my little arrows here. And I'm going to drag this back to here. And now I'm going to hit Control V. And boom, we've completed the two sides. Okay. So, I don't know what we've created yet, but we're getting somewhere. I think you could have a Horde base in the middle of that. It's not going to be a big Horde base. I don't know that it's going to survive super well, but here's the thing. With all those pathways in, a great base for stun baton. The problem with this so far is this is going to be very much so like a I think we're going to have to extend this out at least this size just to give you even room to have a base. Yeah, you could have 4 fighting positions here, but how do you defend 4 fighting positions? Like, it does remind you of the table, the table looking thing from a pizza box. You're 100% right. But then what do you have? Do you have like just a setup here at the side of again, we're back to ladders and how do we avoid this, everybody? How do we stop this madness? Because look, we're back to the same method. Right? This is still a ladder to a pillar to help me stop, folks. Why do we have to do it? It's just so ingrained in us. Drop the pathway to ground level. Y'all get where you get the challenge here. The problem is all of us have this horrible Lily, I wouldn't even know where to start with a lobster. Why the lobster? I don't have that level of skill. Hey, Watch Mooney, thank you so much. Get some good rest. Enjoy the sleepies. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. All right. Well, we're gonna mark this as a failed experiment. I assume digging ditches would be fair boat. No, not necessarily. What about a multi-level base where each level is a new trap or obstacle? No, I understood chop chop. I followed. This is fun, by the way. Thank you all for like chime in here. I'm trying to figure out. Have the fighting position on the ends and the path for the zombies. No, it does look cool. It's just a question of like, how do you, like, we're trying to get something different. So hold on, let's think of something different here. Okay. All right, I'm starting to think now. Y'all are giving me some ideas. So rarity, if you make the fighting position below the X, you end up with a drop base. Bunker bases are non-functional. The zombie dig mechanics have gotten so bad that you just end up you spend your whole life filling in all the holes that they dug. I wish they worked. Dig 3 sides, moat, and force them to come at you. Yeah. Bunker base as in a World War II pillbox. So Drac, the problem is, so I had an old base. I'll share like a concept. I had a very, very old base to the extent that I don't even have a copy of it anymore. It was called the Gaping Maw, and it was set up something like this. It literally was like, it was a ground level base. Yeah, Lily, hell yeah, please. I encourage anyone that if anyone has bases, please share them on my Discord. There's a whole section just for sharing bases. So I had a base a while back called this is like the Gaping Maw, I think it was. And it was like, I'm gonna make a really ugly version of it here just so you can kind of see. But it's problematic for several reasons. So zombies will move in the direction that you push them, so long as there's not an easier path. I didn't mean to do that. Copy G. So like, I wish we could do more stuff like this. So this is just a really ugly example. But imagine you make a corridor like this where, you know, I did it where there was fallback points and yeah, kind of a fighting position here. You know, whatever you're gonna do, your ladders across the front, and then some kind of shenanigans. But here's the problem with this, and I'm making this really rudimentary. And then you have fallback points where you can kind of move back and fight them at the next spot. You could do this with vault doors, for example, so that you can get in and out. The problem with this is, at any point in time, zombies can randomly, especially now, just start beating on the wall here, and you have to like make this 3 blocks thick in every direction so that they don't try to take a weird route. So that's my frustration with building on the ground, is that their AI is just stupid. Does that make sense? Because I did this before, and then I built my crafting base kind of on top of it. I actually kept it very simple. And this is why we have meta bases. I know, this is why I'm trying to beat it. Put a pyramid on top of it? But what is a pyramid on top of it gonna do for me, wizard? It's just gonna... That's... Echo, horseshoe theory for zombies AI intelligence. Explain to me what that means more. No, a maze base won't work because they'll ignore the maze and they'll just cut through a wall. Version, it makes it very, very resource intensive. Zombies don't care about the cardinal direction. They care about the shortest path to get to you. The shortest, the less blocks with the least amount of health that they can carve through to get to you is how they're going to do it. And yes, I was alive in the 70s. I am that old. How many layers did Tem use on the Tem cam? I've not watched all of Tem's stuff, so I'm not sure. You know what? You guys are giving me an idea. Mooney, yes, they absolutely do factor that in. If you can figure out where they're going to spawn on Horde Night, then you could create a funnel system. So Jason, during Horde Night, each wave comes from a different direction. All right, I do have... Maybe we play with this idea. Thank you for the bang, Bree. All right, I'm going to save this. We're going to come back to this mess. Maybe we play with an older concept that I had. How would I do this? All right, what if we could do... I'm going to pull up one of my old bases. What about... this is one of my favorite bases. And I've always thought about revisiting what I did on this base. In a much, much smaller scale. Maybe we leverage some punch turrets over time. Okay, so thought process on this one. This one is massive in scale, so I don't want to do something like this. I want to do something smaller. But the idea, I love this. This is a side fighting position. And the side fighting position has the advantage of them throwing themselves off. You still have to fight them. They start out dumb with simple pathing in a straight line, and then they get smarter and better path. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. Kind of reminds me of the 4x3 base challenges. Yeah, so similar, yes, similar concept. So this was a variation on a theme. So I did this, I don't know if anyone remembers, way back in the day, was it the 5x5? So yeah, Glock put out this whole 5x9 challenge, or 5x5. Make a base 5x5. Okay. So I came up with this crazy clock tower design. And this was overkill, and this worked really well. And it had these weird fighting positions like this. Now, obviously, this wouldn't work with the current meta. After the new zombie crawl, they would leap right through that in a heartbeat. But I like the idea of the spiral staircase. And I think it did go down to a 3x3, which is still till this day. This is one of my favorite. This little base here that held up to day 7,000. I consider this to be a masterpiece. Like, this fighting position is so tight. It's so sexy and so just minimal for what it does. But the zombies would shred it now with the new with all the new infernals and the charged. This thing would just get nuked. So maybe we try this spiral concept, so that we're not doing the killing corridor, basically. Yeah, the infernal and Chuck. Yeah, Chuck is deadly. Yeah, I wish, I hear you on the mastery and having more junk turrets. I also wish that if the junk turrets didn't pop the demos button, that would be amazing. But the fact that the demo pops gets popped by your junk turrets, you can't even use them. Okay, so let's Death Star. Probably the bad time to tell you that I don't really Star Wars. Galpod, that's almost impossible to do. Like, there's not a lot. I'm just experimenting here real quick. How can you not Star Wars? I know. Because I just don't. Raven gives me a hard time all the time of like, how can you not Star Wars? And I'm like, I just don't care. 1, 2, 3. Cause ooh, Star Wars. I mean, I don't ooh Star Wars. I don't like yucking other people's yums. I do like to give. I enjoy Half-Life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jeez. All right, let's think through this. Has anyone created a globe type base? Globes are tough. Like any type of rounded shape is really brutal. All right, I'm fighting position here, right? I'm trying to keep this whole concept of a lower profile base. Like we've done all the massive high up in the air bases. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to keep all my bases 5 blocks off the ground max. I'm just kind of experimenting with ideas here. Rage mode is always going to be a thing. Yeah, I'm anti-dirt. I get that question all the time. Of like, why don't you just especially after I did the Echo Mini, people were like, why don't you just wrap it in dirt? And I'm like, because that's not a base. Have you tried using the crown molding 3-side? No, I haven't, Peter. Is that just to protect it? I don't like using the crown molding because it forces coloring on it. I hate that it has the baked in. Do you do that just to protect it, or? Let's just come in here and just do like, I don't know. I'm not going to use speaking of meta, we're not going to use. We'll use the stuff that I like to use. I like to use the pole doubles. I'm not going to use the dreaded scaffolding ladder that gets used in every single base, everywhere, always. I have never had a punch turret get knocked out in Horde Night. I've always had it survive without a problem. All right, so I can see using it here because we don't want them to carve through the wall. We want to stop them. Now, here's the question. Is a punch turret only 1 block high? Interesting. Top spit, take out my punch turrets. Okay. Could you use a double plate over the sledge? Oh, once you that's right. You can't repair a sledge. A corner plate. What do you mean by corner plate? Are you thinking like the diagonal plates? Like something like that, like a ramp incline filler plate? Probably. I don't know if it would still... Like, can you do that and still... I mean, you could do that so that it follows the feel of the base going up. If you do this, you could come up the side. Actually, no, let's go with an 8-meter run. I'm just playing with ideas here. I also want to see if this will work. I'm curious on this. So if I pick this up, oh, it does place from the other side. Okay. Okay, but no, once it's there, you can't place it. Oh, is that close enough? Will that... Okay, we're experimenting. Let's... Take that out. And let's go with... Boyd, we can do something even better. I'll show you in a second. Yep, we're gonna... All right, I want to take this one here and I want to go... There we go. How many blocks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need a 6M. No, we're gonna go with an 8M. And we're gonna start halfway up like this. We'll see. I mean, nothing is going to be as simple as the killing corridor. That is why the killing corridor is so... It's such a basic concept. It makes it hard not to just do it. And it gets boring too. Yeah. All right, so let's just give this a quick test. So first off, we're going to make sure that we have ground level is appropriate. Let's just see how this plays out. So once you've created your base in the Prefab Editor, you go to one of these tabs, which I always forget which one it is here, and you just click Playtest. So, and it's going to load you up a mini world, basically, with a trader. And we can experiment and see how this goes. So we spawn in a random location in this like itty bitty little square that we have here, but all right, so you got a trader here that you can randomly do whatever with. You can also grab any of these preloaded sets. So we're just going to grab like a basic set here, tier 3. And then we open up this and it gets us some basic loot to start off with. So there we go. We got a random collection of crap that we can put on. Baseball bat and some stuff and some things. Silly question. How do you get to the Prefab Editor? Lily, when you're at the main menu, if you hit, what is it? World building tools? I don't know. When I go back out, we'll take a quick look. So I'm not going to put any points into anything. I'm just going to like throw this stuff in my inventory because I just don't care. We're going to go over here. Yeah, it's from the main menu. We need a turret. Sledge. Yeah, if someone is out at the main area and can check that out for me, that'd be great. But I highly recommend yes, it would be. You would want to do this and world generation would come after this. All right, so we place that. Now let's just, so I can just come here and, for example, do some, I press F6 and then we summon a bunch of Arlenes. Now let's see what she does. Will she come up here? Will she pass? Okay, so the turret can't see through there. I was afraid of that. Okay. Okay, so there's our first test to figure out. So, the turret cannot see through that block. So, if I get rid of that block, now we can try it. And just out of curiosity, does that block prevent? Turret is... You need to have molding above and below. Saw that coming. All right, let me let me get the dev gun out, make life a little easier. Concrete shapes. Jeez. Yeah, I don't... The molding is problematic. Is that really showing up as yellow? Shouldn't be, but oh well, I mean, I'm not supporting this at all. Oh, I see what you're saying, that the sensor's on top. So this wouldn't be a placeable method. We're just going to keep experimenting. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Would an upside down half block work? Yeah, I think it would be, but the problem is they're gonna view this as a path. So let's go back to the editor. So you can just go restart back to editor, restart playtest. Either way, you can kind of reset up what you want to look at. Yeah, I'm not digging the molding though. Like, partially because I mean I don't want to snag the idea from Jawoodle, who figured that one out. But partially I hate the molding because of the auto paint that it applies. It kind of drives me bonkers. But here's the question. Bottom line is that I don't want the turret over here. I want to use the turret, but I don't want to use the turret. Let's not worry about the turret yet. Okay? Let's do this. Oh, a cocktail glass. I like it. I'm changing my mind. Let's do that as a wedge 60 for reasons. Do that. I'm going to keep experimenting, similar to what I did on the other one. So the thing that I did in the past, so this gave a slight slope incline. They pushed themselves off, but this is the position where they can fight you. Now you're going to want to dissuade them from trying to come through this wall. So you almost need that there so that they decide that's not a good path. So the question, so this is the format I did before, and I put ultimately what I did is I put a blade trap above, which I tell people all the time, blade traps are shit unless you can repair them. So if you can, let's see. Now, also, I don't want to deal with blade traps on day whatever. So that's going to be problematic because you also don't want them to stack here. I don't know. Let's leave that alone for right now. Let's just see what this does. Small profile. See if they push off. See if they keep fighting this. Peter, yeah, easy peasy. Back into the playtest, so you can kind of bounce in and out like this really fast and just test and see. This is why I tell people get used to playing with the Prefab Editor, because you can learn a ton. You get in here, you try a thing. If it doesn't work, you blow it up. You move on to the next concept. All right, into here we go. Honestly, I just want to pull a gun out of here real quick. Or whatever melee weapon it gives me would be great. There we go. And 6, and give us a couple bows. Let's see how this works. Oh, interesting. Okay, it's taking them a hot minute. Yeah, so not great. I'm not liking this so far. Like, the original concept worked well in Void's End. Yeah, no, it takes a lot. It does. It takes a lot to figure this stuff out. This is why I go through rounds and rounds of testing and I throw out a lot of ideas. And, sometimes they're good and sometimes they suck. I knew tonight was going to be hard. I just didn't expect it to be this hard. Yeah, Bo isn't too brilliant. Scout point, but I can accept that they're going to change later. I can accept that. All right, so again, we're moving to an elevated position. What if we keep on the ground? So we also want to think about resources. So here's one of the advantage. Anytime we dig a pit, you're always... Why not separate your ramp and your fighting position by 1 block where they have... Oh, you mean like make them honestly jump across? I mean, you could do that. Are you saying something like that? No, the other way around. I'm not sure I'm quite following. I mean, that's interesting too. Can I summon in this? Yes, so I can summon a bow. How do they react in here, though? Will they actually... Will you guys fight me? Yeah, no, they don't do any... That's why you gotta go into the... Oh, put the gap parallel. Okay. What is this? Sorry, I was really enjoying the music on this one. Carl Casey every once in a while does some fun stuff. Yeah, so Scout Pod, that was the idea. So this worked really well. If I go back to what we did... now, I was also running Nightmare craziness. So the way this worked, the reason this worked so well is the zombies would come running up this, and you had the fighting position here. They would push themselves off this edge all the time, and it gave you a nice kind of reprieve to recover. And this was actually a larger fighting space than I'm thinking right now. Yeah, so that's... I don't know if you saw that. We need to get rid of the concept of fighting positions. So, Scalpod, how do we do that? How do you get rid of... I mean, you have to have a place where you fight the zombies. You got to think of some way to, like, have... where you're going to engage. Thank you, Boyd. So this one was built so that basically when this fighting position cracked, you backed up to the next fighting position. Have you ever done full Horde with just stun baton and a repulsor mod? I mean, sure, you absolutely could, Ezekiel. I haven't done it, but fighting platforms? Yeah, I mean, you can fight... I'll be honest, folks, you don't need a Horde base in 7 Days to Die. You can fight on the ground. If you've got meds and ammo, you can do it. Yeah, no, I mean, we can do, but people want bases. I know those of us who've played for many, many years can fight on the ground and we can survive. But the vast majority of people who are playing 7 Days to Die are looking for a base option, a way that they can survive without feeling like they're going to get crushed. And the casual 7 Days to Die player ain't good enough to slam a mega crush and run around with a gun and some they just don't have the skill set. Most fighting positions are static. Is there a way you can fight as the zombies move? Not in the street, though. A mobile position. Thanks, by the way. I just want to say, this is really stressful. I'm not used to, like... I'm so used to having an idea and coming into stream. So I'm sorry if I'm a little awkward tonight. I'm trying to figure out how to listen to all of you and come up with an idea. And this is hard. The casual player would rather spend resources to repair the meds to keep... yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Casual players want some security. They want a sense of, like, I can fight the Horde and hold, you know, hold them off. So, Scalpod, you know what I miss? Like, back in the day... Back in the day, you used to be able to do this. So, I used to be able to make a turtle base. This, I can't remember which alpha it was. But this was my base in many years ago. Maybe it was one higher than this. 777. So we're gonna do this. Back in the day, you used to be able to do this. And you could have whatever. You'd have your positions on each side where you would do, like, I think back in the day, at that point in time, we used bars because whatever. But you could do this because the zombies weren't structural engineers. So they didn't do dumb shit like they do now. Which I do find a little bit ridiculous. But back in the day, you used to build basically a base, something like this. And whatever, you do this here and this here. And they couldn't crawl through crap. And you'd fight them here, and when this block got weakened, you would move over to this side, and the zombies would follow you over here. They wouldn't keep attacking this block because they mentally knew that this block was weakened. Galpod, yes, I think that's correct. So this was the having a Horde-based mental block. I miss Toothy Base. All right, I'm gonna hit a quick ad break here, give you all some bases to check out, and I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna hit a bio. See you soon. All right, I think we're back. I just left a message in my mod chat and I'm just saying, man, folks, this is so hard. Like, I am realizing just how ingrained all of our thought processes are. We are so shaped by the bases over all the years, like just the same meta that is just unshakable. It's hard to even conceptualize what we do outside of it. No, subterranean bases are a no-go. We did one in 2.0 and it was a nightmare. The digging has gotten actually even worse in 2.5. They're like doing really weird dig type stuff in 2.5 where they will like dig way far away and go underneath. So if we can't think of ways to shake the meta, I'm going to pose a second question. How do we make, for this next playthrough that I'm doing, the whole idea of tonight's stream, by the way, everyone, was to think through this next playthrough. I want to build, like, I don't know, I want to build 3 or 4 bases in the course of the playthrough and build some fun stuff that I can share with y'all so y'all can build it in your worlds. And I was just hoping to come up with new concepts, something different. Do we want to build, we could do thematic stuff. What if you use a curve block, like a steps to fight area? Yeah, no, I hear you, Peter, and I agree. I hear you. And I will accept failure. Like if we don't figure it out in the stream, I'm okay with it. But does anyone enjoy the engineering grad student? So yeah, it's infuriating at times. So here's the big frustration, I think. And I might go give this feedback since, you know, I am in the Fun Pimp creator group. I think the biggest thing is the fact that the zombies can sense when a block is weakened. I find that stupid. Zombies should not be able to look at a block and sense, do the mathematical algorithm that tells them this is the fastest path to get to you. That is ridiculous and stupid. It's just not how zombies act. I'd rather be overwhelmed or whatnot, or some other mechanic that challenges me. So that's not how zombies behave. Yes, they don't have X-ray structural engineering. Yeah, they should target, I feel like they should target the block closest to you, Scalpod. Make Horde bases work again. If it happens to be the weakest, so be it. Exactly. So my thought, like when we go back to typical zombie genres, zombie see human, zombie want to eat human. Zombie go the closest path to get to human, right? So if I use this as the example, if I move here, zombie move here. If I move over here, zombie doesn't keep trying to hit over there because he's like, oh, I can get to him closer over here, so I'm going to go over there. I don't mind how zombie AI act. In every group, there are weird persons. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't believe that I have any non-neurodivergent friends, so I get that. I get that. I feel that. Yes, it should be the easiest thing in the world. Choke points. All right, so I feel like this is a dud. That's obviously a dud. I'm still feeling this a little bit in a weird way. Um, I don't like so the pyramid's a pain in the ass. It's just hard to build. It's very hard to explain to people how to do it. Oh, Jason, you don't get creative mode in console. I'm so sorry. Just rub meat on the blocks. Oh man. I mean, yeah, and Jacob, I hate AFK bases. It's just not how I want to play the game. Like, I want to be active during Horde night. All right. Well, what if we go back to my old base concept here is basically the chop shop in a shorter format. Let's play with this idea, okay? Let's see if we can. Yeah, we're gonna play with this. We're gonna actually go with an ancient old school. So Alessium, if I'm saying that right, I do that as well, where I like to combine my horde and crafting. Let's play with this. This is a gamble base. A 2-lane chop. Yeah, Jacob, but I'm not thinking chop shop. I'm actually thinking my old base. This is like, here, let me see if I can find this. Man, this is ancient. Let me see. Filter, what do I put in here? How do I search my own stuff? Videos, and it doesn't let me search my own stuff really well sometimes. It's kind of a poor layout. Let's do it this way. Echo. Oh man. God bless it. Folks, it's Wayward Echo here, and we are back. It's so hard to go and listen to your old stuff. The editing is pretty rough. Everything's pretty rough. I'm gonna post this for both Twitch and YouTube there. So that's an older video to give you the concept of what I'm kind of thinking of here. Yeah, no, I mean, I find it simultaneously like exciting and like I don't know. It's fun to see where I came from and how I got to where I'm at. So here's my thought is some type of fighting position, 1, 2, 3. Maybe we make it too wide. And so we shrink the footprint. Footprints are a big thing. We don't want to make it too problematic to build. I like the decorative teeth. Yeah, it was very silly. It was a very silly base. as the alphas evolved, it stopped working. So what if we use doors here? This is something I haven't tried. What about an iron door? I don't know. We're playing with ideas here. Just versus flowers. All right, and then the zombies are gonna flit right through that. What about a ramp 08? I can't tell what the zombies can and can't make it through these days, so we're just experimenting. Yeah, I don't want to just like go copy the shop though. You follow me, folks? Like, I love Tem, but I don't want to just take his idea. I want to make my own. Shape and rotation there. If I have a, I just want to see, like, if I'm holding a thing. Okay, I'm gonna hit there. So if they blow through the door, they blow through. And then the last one, what I did is I had electric fences all throughout here. No, I know. Jacob, eventually, yes, but I always like to think of my bases as what am I going to do before I have a vault door? And honestly, like, a vault door would be problematic because you're going to, I don't even like that. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I think I would go double hatch is honestly what I would do instead of give me that option. Because double hatch doesn't give you a lip at the bottom. All right, so let's just try that out of curiosity as just a starting point. You can double up hatches back to back. That is true. In this case, I don't want to because I'm going to do it as a fallback so that I have a way to get in and out of the base easy. So I can just do a crouch as I'm coming in, and I can go in this way if I want to. But I don't know if zombies will just... Yeah, I know I could put 2 more on the outside. Hey, Colon Sausage, welcome in. You mean basically giving you, like, a lower level here? You can do that, you know, have whatever, you know, a half block here. Similar to what you would do on, like, a sniping base, you could do something like that, a half or a 3/4 here. You could do this so that here you're looking up. King Ranch, I'm feeling a lot better. No, I understand, Peter. You're saying to do the reverse, to do this. I do get it. But you also have to be a little bit careful, because if you engineer it too much, the zombies will just hit the sidewalls. So let's just try this as an example. Let's leave this as this is, and we're going to save this. We're going to take this into the prefab. We're going to load this in the playtest. And we're going to come in here and see, like, how does the zombies react to this? We'll just set it to Horde night. We'll set it to a day 7 Horde. I know we're in all concrete. Actually, we probably might need to set it more. I should have made this cobblestone to start with, for the purpose that we're doing here. And I should have also... Whatever, let's go... do this so that they're not gonna try to go up and over or whatever. But here's the question. If I'm in here, I give myself a bat. And we set time to... We're gonna take it to day 14, just for shits and giggles. 1422 and and it's Horde. Are they not going to spawn? I thought they fixed this. Oh, come on. Seriously? So here's the question. Will they first off, can they squeeze through that? Interesting. King Ranch, I thought they fixed this so that I could actually do Horde nights. I'm just gonna let them, I'm gonna sit here for a while and let them see. They're stacking, but they're not crawling through. It's actually not a bad little setup. Why would I have them spawn? Oh, sorry. Bad left hip. I'm sorry. I was about to be a total dick. I thought you meant like just like in the corridor behind me. I understand what you're saying now, though. All right, let's do this. So let's see if we spawn them back here. Okay, so they are... So they are choosing... See if I go to the back of the room here. Okay. I think we might be onto something as a starter concept. I don't... So here's the thing. As we move to later stage bases, though... Yeah, no, I know we're trapped. So the whole idea of this, if we did this, yeah, you could put plates on the outside over time to further dissuade them. Absolutely. And I think I did that. Okay. So I'm surprised that this works though, and they can't crawl through that. The other problem with this is these are really hard to repair. So what I've done in the past, just to explain things, is I did layers like this. So you do have some fallbacks. So as one starts to fail, you pull back. I made the last one thicker. So I actually went out. So what I did on the other one is I gave it a, I kind of basically made this corridor thicker. So what I did is more like this. I gave room for traps so that we could add stuff in over time. Yeah, traps would be the go-to. Yep. So basically, if we think about it, is something like this. And we come in here with like nowadays I would do like 3Ds. So you do like ZZL, something like that, and then you have a layer in here of traps, and then you would have a layer on the outside. So this is still viewed as a full block from the zombies' perspective. Now, the moment you do this, you can see how your base obviously starts to get thicker. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden we're adding tons and tons of resources. But that's still a double wall in between you and the zombie, so in theory they should still go to there. But you know, you do 2 fallback points, and then at the back you can put your ladders going up. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. So in the back, you can, you know, do your 2 blocks up, and you do something like this. So that you have an escape route to get out of this. But here's the problem. Here, like, if you have... God, this is where it all falls apart. So the reason we stopped building bases like this are there's 2 reasons. Anyone want to guess why this base is going to have huge problems as I'm thinking about it? The maintenance on this is going to be absurd. If we have a single demo go off in here, it nukes everything. Yeah, cops and demos, man. No dog ramp. Oh, I don't know, folks. Are we just stuck with this shitty meta? Is this really where we are? Are the lot of us not creative enough to come up with a solution to this crap AI because right now it's just depressing. I want to break the cycle. I really do. Lily, I want you to put together the lobster base, and upkeep is for losers who pay taxes. Hey man, I'm waiting. Lily, if you put together a video on your lobster base, I will build it. Make a ski ball base. Golden swallow. Okay, here we go, folks. Welcome in, Raiders. We're putting these Raiders to work. Straight out of the rip. All right, and I didn't even see. Swallow, were you doing some 7 days today? Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Okay. Welcome in, Raiders. You're in charge. Welcome to the stream here. Tonight, we are fighting the bullshit meta that is 7 Days to Die, killing Corridor, build a ramp up, playing some 28 days alphas later. Yeah, we're playing some fighting the AI in 7 Days to Die and losing. So since y'all are here, here's what we're trying to do. And first off, sorry, I'm being rude. Everyone in my community, go check out Golden Swallow. She's awesome. I missed her at TwitchCon. Maybe we'll catch up at TwitchCon next year. She's also her partner is super awesome. Nordy Northerner. I did get to hang out with him a little bit at TwitchCon. Good folks all around. But Golden Swallow's community, we are trying to bust up the meta. I've been talking, we're testing. Oh, I'm sorry. Just kidding. I'm so sorry. Never mind. Ignore everything that I just said. I'm going to take my foot out of my mouth and everyone just go check out Golden Swallow. I'm sorry, dear. Many apologies. Hey man, I just try to share the love and shout everybody out because, you know, it's what I do. And every once in a while I stick my foot in my mouth because what I do. I don't know. I got no excuses. So, but tonight we're trying to like look at base design because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated with building the same base over and over and over. And as I looked at my litany of bases that I built over the years, they all start to feel a little bit too much the same. So we've been playing with ideas. So that's what we've been doing all night. We're creating and building and destroying. So we were going back and looking at like old bases that I built with like this turtle concept. We tried something like this. Didn't really work. I'm going to play a series where I have no Horde base, but I can't leave the farm. My stuff is at. Having a Horde base makes it really boring. I get that. Why change something that works? Because it just gets boring, King Ranch. Like, for me, I'm trying to come up with, I'm constantly looking at new base concepts. And for anyone from Swallows, Golden Swallows community who doesn't know, I do a ton of base build type stuff. We were experimenting and looking at some of my other crazy older stuff. So we'll look at here. Void's End is one of the older bases that I built that we were taking a gander at and saying like, you know, massive tower that I built here, and it had kind of a unique fighting position. Golden Swallow, I've done tons of ladder bases. So if you want to look at ladder bases that I've done, So we did, one of my favorites is the Sentinel. So this right here, ooh, uh-oh, that's not good. Oh God, please say that I have a working version of this. This can't be lost to the ages. No! Discard. What was the error there? Oh, no, no, no. This is one of my favorite bases of all times. Oh my God. No. All right, which other ladder bases? Oh, there's Arctic Refuge. No, that one was not ladder based. What is it? Apex. Polar Apex. So this was a crazy ladder based design. That one was built over water. This one is not really placeable. I did this on one of the community servers. So this used my classic rotate down and outward garage door styles. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Jacob, yeah, all my prefabs are on Patreon. Oh, Serpent's Coil was from the Abyss. This one was a ladder-based design. So yeah, ladders around the outside. So this one had 4 separate fighting positions around the exterior. So basically this is 4 mini Horde bases, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then crafting in the center. So yeah, I've kind of run the gamut on all the different things. This one, you had a little fighting position here. You had connected bits between the different bases. This was a little, very compact crafting area. So hopefully this gives people some ideas of things that we've done over the years. Would it be possible to do a zombie path that goes overhead the fighting position? So that the zombies are coming over top of you? Scalpod, I think this one would hold up to the AI pathing changes. I don't know how I would get this. So the way the zombie pathing works is that they try to match your elevation first, and then they take the shortest path to get to you. So getting them above you, I don't know how you would do that. Yeah, without them digging down to get to you, because that's a problem. Yeah, underground is just a bad choice. Underground is always just a bad choice. I will share with people, what did we name the underground base? I don't even know anymore. Thank you for the hydrate there. Anyone remember what I called from the last playthrough, what the bedrock base was called? Oh, Shadow Rift, there we go. So I did a bunker base, and I will never do it again, because this was a total nightmare to build. So it had, this one had a crazy pathway in where you went down the chute here. It had multiple entrances in. It had parking garage in here. Big old freaking crafting room here. Massive fighting position all underground here. So it had 2 fighting positions, 1 on each side. It's bedrock style base. I built this with gigantic garden, underground garden. And then this is my favorite wing of this base. This is all the barracks rooms. So this is where all your players can kind of hang out. Hey, Swallow, I know. Go take care of yourself. Go get some rest. This is still one of my favorite bases, but God, it's such a pain in the ass to build and maintain. And then I had vending machines for the community and all that stuff. So I don't know. I built a lot of stuff, and I'm trying to build something small and simple. You know, Seeker's Bane. This was one I built for Rebirth. One of my favorite bases. This was a simple one. Pathways up. Double vault door concept with the drop. We don't need the 14 block concept that we had in the past. This one works really, really well. It's strong. Small and simple. You know what? Hey, the Echo Mini is solid. King Ranch, there's a whole video on the dragon head. So this I did a whole tutorial, King Ranch. If you want to build this in the world, I broke this one apart into all the steps. This was so painful to do, and I swore after I did this I would never do this again. King Ranch, this is on YouTube. There's a full video step by step on how to do this. So this is ultimately what it looks like down here. It took me a while to figure this one out. I did this one many, many years ago also. And after I did this video, I said, I'm never doing anything like this again. And this was built for specifically a crazy base that I had that if you've seen my commercials, folks, you've seen it. It's the V1 Hydra. Yeah, so I use that for this base. Where I've got the 4 dragon heads on each side, and I thusly named this the Hydra and gave it kind of like the dragon scale style backing to it. So I had a friend make it with the burning barrels as eyes. So, all right. We've shown all the bases. We've done all the things. Oh, this is one of... I'll show my one other from Rebirth. I loved this base. This is another fun one. We built this using the garage doors that span out and create the fighting path. We add the blade traps here, which seem crazily high, but in Rebirth, you've got Seekers that are 3.5 blocks high. You add drawbridges into the sides. Central fighting area here on each side. I loved the space. This one was a lot of fun. We built the pit the whole way around this one. Some really cool fighting positions for this. Yeah, boy, this one, yeah, we had bears for days. All right, so we're back to the meta. I feel like we've made... How did you keep the jumpers out? On that one? I mean... I don't think we ran into problems with that one, King Ranch. Oh, the side, sorry. The doors on the sides closed up. What about a base that starts in, say, a 6-foot deep pit where a spiral stair goes up to the fighting position, not connected to the stairs? That pit looks like rage mode. So Chad, that pit, that base was designed pre 2.5. Everything post 2.5 is we are all on the joint struggle bus together trying to figure this shit out, and it's a mess. It's rough. So, and my favorite base, my most recent base, this for everyone here who doesn't know it, I know my community knows it, but the Echo Mini, that's not it. Oh, that must be an early iteration of it. Mini Max, this one. Oh, I wouldn't no, Jacob, I wouldn't assume that the Echo Mini was good for Darkness Falls. There's a lot of reasons why it's not good for it. It was very much so built for 2.5. So this is a basic, it's the same meta with some slight variation that's very tilted towards 2.5, and this thing works like a freaking charm. It's simple, it's easy, it's not super original. Like, I added some flavor and characteristic to it. I think it's really great for new players starting off who don't want something super complicated. You could build most of it with cubes if you wanted to. But I have not, I've heard like maybe one person come back and say, oh no, King Ranch, this one didn't fall on my last stream for sure. This one is so bonkers that here, I'll do this. For the sake of folks watching, we'll play test this one and I'll show you how robust this one was. In my tutorial, the video that I put explaining how to make this one, I showed just how robust this one is. It can take an absurd beating. We'll spawn it in here. I'm just gonna pull out the dev gun and we're just gonna start eating it to pieces. Oh, I didn't set the ground right on this one. That's fine. CM and dev gun real quick. We're just gonna show. All right, so it's embedded down in the ground, but we're just gonna take out a whole leg of the base. We're gonna take out the back leg just for funsies. So that's 2 legs of this base gone. Let's go ahead and take out the front leg as well. So that's what it takes. You gotta take out 3 full legs before the whole thing goes down. So it's pretty ridiculous. Oh, yeah. Good point, Peter. If the doors were opened, it would have lasted even longer. So I'm very happy with that one as a very meta. But tonight was all about us trying new stuff. And I'm struggle bussing. Yeah, the doors add stability if they are open. That is a critical point. I didn't understand that one until very, very recently, which is a kind of confusing one to wrap your head around. I also need to fix this. I should have fixed this for... So here's why it spawned so weird when you saw it here. Oh, because the ground level, see how the ground level is up here? So if you come here, you can move ground level down, which is useful because now when I add it into a world, it will have that as the base level. All right, so now we're back to meta 2 here. Yeah, Peter, I think you might be right. But that being said, this is inspiring me to reach out to the Fun Pimps and have a conversation. Because I think this is a missed opportunity. I think we're all missing out on a little bit of creativity. If the zombie AI was treated differently, and I don't want it to be easy. I don't want to confuse people into thinking like I'm looking for the easy route. I don't want that. In fact, like I constantly am challenging myself to make it harder. Who are you to tell me to question your authority? Oh my gosh, King Ranch, I've died on the more paint hill. I've died on it. I want more paint more than anything. Every time I do a new base, in fact, like I'll do one more pivot here. So the Echo Mini culminated into the Echo Mini compound. I hate this paint job. It's one of the, like, I don't know. I've done so many different paint jobs. I was just trying to do something different, and it's okay, but like, God, I feel like there could have been better options. Yeah, I did say last stream, if 3.0 just gave us more paint, I'd be thrilled. That would like make my freaking day. Extreme. So Peter, that was close to what I was going for with this. It's the Bumblebee base. So I won't lie, like if you look at this, this one was very inspired by me watching Stranger Things, and I was really feeling that like 80s Cold War architecture style. That's kind of what inspired this one. There's a mod that is pretty awesome as far as textures. April, which one is that? No. April, if you get a chance later, just drop it in my Discord. Yeah, if anyone gets a chance, just drop it in Discord. All right. Pyro paints. Okay. We can check that out. All right, let's I don't know. Do I have I'm just looking through and see if I have old stuff. Because I did some prototype bases. Death's Embrace, same concept. Boundary Farm, Grinder, No Meta, Mini, Shock and Thaw. Two Towers. That one was great. Dad, I am thinking more along the lines of yeah, the House and Joke mod was fun. Oh, I forgot about that one. That one was good too. Oh no, that's a different one that I was even thinking of. Oh, this is me prototyping parts of this one. God, this sad base failed epically because zombies, by the way, zombies will not path diagonally upstairs. I wanted this base to work so much, and it was a gorgeous base that didn't function. April, go to sleep. Go get some rest. God, this hurts my soul. If I lost this base to the ages, one of my favorite bases. I don't know why it's not loading. I might try to... Thank you, Boyd. I feel like we've made no progress tonight. I don't know what I'm going to do come Friday. I felt like I made a promise that we were gonna figure this shit out on stream, and like now I'm just in a struggle bus land. Oh, up there with the Library of Alexandria. Would zombies pass on curb? What do you mean by that, Will? Can you dive into that? Will they pass on curve blocks? There's not a lot of curve blocks. The progress was all the friends. I mean, I do think this is valuable because I think you all get to see the struggle that I go through when I'm trying to come up with a base design, something new, something conceptually different. This is why it's so hard, is because the logical path is so minimal in options. You can do variations on your fighting position, but that basic approach of minimizing the area of impact of where the zombies are going to hit your base and do damage to is a core principle. Like, none of us want to spend hours and hours repairing our bases, right? That's the biggest frustration. And the killing corridor / raise them up, have them come across a bridge is the only method that's really out there right now. And that's where we're all kind of stuck. Y'all are inspiring an idea. That's why you should go the opposite way. Tell me what the opposite way is. Galpod, break that down for me. What is the opposite way? Yes and no. I mean, all of us want to have some level. Most people who play 7 Days to Die have some level of security in your base. I don't mind some level of failure. I don't mind some level of rebuilding. So if I'm going to do a 1-use space, though, I don't want to invest time in it. That's going to be that's a POI takeover. That I can do every day of the week. POI takeovers are great for that. A rat race base, a split level base where you can guide the zombie pathing via doors and hatches. A mousetrap base. You know what? You're giving me ideas now. I wonder, like, this. All right, I'm just nuking this because this sad thing here is that's not working. Let's just get rid of the ground here. Wait, did that not take? Z and what is your favorite POI base to take over? Ooh. The firehouse is one of my favorites. The firehouse is really nice. Lots of concrete, lots of good space for different rooms in it. I think I used that in Afterlife, and I think I used that in another playthrough. But yeah, the firehouse is really nice. But here's another one. I haven't done this in ages. This is an old ancient base that I did, the Winding Stair. The name was based off of I'm totally curious on how this would work in modern days. My first playthrough had this. Yep, the fire stations are awesome. No, I know it is Boyd. I'm just... And there we are. We're back to commercials. All right, we'll be right back, folks. Oh, wait. No. Wait. Nope. Sorry. Wrong. We'll give you different set of bases incoming. Hey folks, welcome back. Man, we're gonna go a little bit longer. I'm not gonna do a late night stream. I'm still like taking care of the body, making sure that we're in good shape. Friday night is gonna be my first in the playthrough series, and we'll go longer. Ghost, yeah, the tutorial for the Echo Mini is out. It is out. In fact, and I also just dropped the Echo Compound, which is like the full breadth version of it on Patreon. I'm going to do a tutorial on how to build the crafting part of that in the garage. Not this week. I'm not even going to start until next week. I'm in the middle of selling my house and moving and all kind of shenanigans. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Sorry, I'm reading comments, folks. We're going to go a little bit longer. I don't think we're going to answer this. But I'm going to go ahead and tell people I'm inviting everyone for, and I'm going to grab the link here. Well, I'm thinking about it. So I've got a request. We're going to start a streaming series on Friday, where I'm going to try not to go just plain vanilla. We're going to try to do a bunch of different Horde bases. Baldur's Gate 3 and put fall crush damage mechanics in. They used to have fall damage in, and they got rid of it because people made a bunch of cheesy AFK bases where basically the fall damage was the how they killed everything. And that's why now they do a percentage damage per drop. So here's kind of my homework for everybody. So I'm going to drop it to both Twitch and YouTube. So first off, all of you all, I'm going to start a series on Friday. I'm going to start a brand new playthrough. It's 2.5 vanilla with some quality of life mods. I'm probably going to add in, if you have quality of life mods you want to see me do on Friday, add them in there. I don't want to do anything that does massive progressive changes or progression changes, because I want it to be applicable for anyone who's playing on console who watches me. I don't like alienating that crowd. But if you add a comment to this video on YouTube, and I'm linking it in both YouTube and Twitch, put whichever tree you want me to play. So I'm going to count up all the comments on the YouTube video and say, if everyone says strength, then for the first stream, I'm playing all strength. Literally, I cannot put in points anything other than strength in general. Same thing, if you put perception, it's going to be perception. So I'm just going to tally up all the people who say, so just put in whichever tree you think I should play for next stream, and y'all will dictate how that series starts off. No, console can't have mods, Coffee. I wish they could. If they could, it would be amazing, but so I don't know. We're going to try this one last little bit here on conceptually to see if this old idea works at all. But I wanted to invite you all, if you want to shape how this next playthrough turns out, go ahead and add on, and I will, I'm going to be at y'all's mercy. So the rule is every stream, I will have a different build. So I did this as like a 3-level switch. Are we back to lobsters? How are we back on lobsters again? So I did something like this. And it was kind of funny, because, you know, you have I'm doing this as like as super basic as it gets. We never left lobsters. Why the lobsters? So everything is relative to distance. Demo explosions hurt zombies as well. All right, so we're just gonna go with our doubles here real quick. Just, I don't know. I'm just looking at what options are still available. All right, we're gonna take this as a bucket and we're just gonna run with this. So I do have to ask, like, is this helpful? Are y'all learning? Are y'all just as frustrated as I am? Is this like, what did I spend my last hour for? Or my last couple hours of my life for? I thought Echo was going to explain to me the answer to life, the universe, and everything, and this is just bullshit. Totally learning, but also frustrated. Welcome to my life. Let's give ourselves a gun too. Let's see if they do the thing. Look at them. They will do the monkey jump. Very interesting. Okay. This is okay. First off, that's okay. This is interesting. I mean, this is an ancient. Yeah, no. This absolutely, Boyd, I agree. This is an ancient. I mean, this is my very first base concept. I made we're gonna go back super old. I made a tutorial on a base. I made a base called the Winding Stair back in 2021, and it's as basic as it gets. And this is the exact concept that it was leaning into. I just didn't think this would, I don't know, something basic like this might still. Are we reviving base ideas like the mullet and mustaches coming back? I mean, I don't think the mullet should ever come back personally, but you know, and mustaches are still a little creepy to me. I don't know. I grew up with my dad doing the whole like total like porn stash, and I can't handle it. Anything but the mullet, please. I know, I totally agree. Okay. We don't talk about the mullet. Oh man. All right. I'm I don't know. I I got to go back to the drawing board, everyone. The good news is I got to be out of my house for a few days, so maybe I'll have some time to just sit and think. Maybe I'm going to take a sketch pad and draw some stuff out. I'm feeling the lack of creativity. I'm having a hard time. I mean, a Sam Elliott mustache is pretty amazing. That's not a porn stash. That's an amazing stash. Now, if you have Sam Elliott's voice to go with it, who like came out of the womb with like that deep, crazy, insane voice that he's got, then more kudos to you. So I'm going to do a short stream tonight, folks. Again, just taking care of myself. I just want a huge thanks to everyone for hanging out for this mess. I'm sorry we didn't get to an answer. I'm going to keep chewing on this, and I invite everyone to join in on the comments afterwards on the YouTube video side. If you have ideas, please give them to me. This is tough. If I can't come up with a good non-meta idea, then I'm going to try to think of good thematic, interesting builds that I can hand back to the community so you can do something different. My biggest thing is I just want to give some new fun builds for people to try out. And I'm feeling hamstrung by the zombie AI and how it, kind of forces us to do things. So I hope I can come up with some new ideas that kind of stretch all of our creativity. So I'm looking for you all. Give me ideas. Keep feeding me thoughts and concepts and ideas. I just want to do something different that hopefully y'all contribute and give me the ideas and fuel my creativity. Fill my bucket with creativity. That sounded dirtier than I thought. I mean, yeah, fill my bucket, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I need to get some sleep, folks. We're at that point. We're gonna go visit a friend of mine. For the folks over on Twitch, we're gonna go visit Athenon. He's really amazing, good folks. He does a lot of Long Dark. He also does a bunch of 7 Days to Die. Next week, mullet base. No mullet base. So give some love to Athenon. He's really, really good people. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I appreciate every last one of you. I hope you have a blessed and fantastic week. And I will see everyone very, very soon. Get some good rest. Take care of yourselves. Stay warm. Do all the things. And I will see everyone back on Friday for the beginning of a brand new series. Until then, good night all. Cheers. Oh my god, we raided each other. Wait, are we still here? Did I not successfully raid? What just happened? What? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Athenon, I think I raided into you and you raided into me. Oh my gosh. Yours went through, so mine didn't. All right, so we're all still here. Hey, folks, for Athanon's community, welcome in. I was just trying to rage all. I was just talking you up, and I'm crashing for the night. I'm having an early night. We were just fighting against the 7 Days to Die meta builds and trying to come up with something different. Oh man, let me see who else is on now real quick. I will leave you with someone good. I promise. Elijah's still on. We can always go visit her. We're gonna go visit her. Sure. Yeah. I'm happy to visit new people. Oh man, funny times. I will take your recommendation. Just share the love on Hyperman 2020. Yep, I got him here. All right, folks, I'm gonna get some rest. We're gonna raid round 2. Let's go. And I will see everyone back on Friday. Take care, everybody. Cheers.
All right, who's the king of the hill? Gearhead Desk is king of the hill. Gearhead already went to bed. Wayward Eco, thank you so much for the raid. Really do appreciate it. Welcome on in. Yeah, we got some very pretty lights going on here. Uh-oh. We got some company. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I don't know if this torch is going to do anything. But we'll take care of it that way. Mr. Green-Eyed